Hey there! If you're new to video, one of the biggest questions I hear a lot is how to edit videos. Now, for one, there's a lot of simple apps that you can use on your phone if you're starting with that. Otherwise, if you want to get into Premiere Pro, which is Adobe Premiere Pro, I actually had a friend of mine ask me recently if I could do a quick video to show a simple way to use Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, it is a powerful software. It is pretty intense, and I'm constantly learning new things. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how a step-by-step of literally just getting started so that you can do your first video or edit your first video on Premiere Pro. So let's head on over to my screen here. And first of all, I'm just going to open up the program, and while that's opening, I do want to show you something. So something that's really important is to have a really good organized file structure. So I'm actually going to start back from here. And what I do in this case is I want to make sure that with this folder, I created a folder and it would have all of the clips in it. So if I had more than one clip, in this case I don't, but if I had more than one clip, then I'd want all of that to live right in here. So again, we're going to start up Premiere. And this will become far more evident as we move along. You'll understand. So we're going to start off here. We're going to create a new project right there, and I'm going to call this. I made a video talking about making smart goals. So there we go. So we're going to call this one Smartest Goals. And now we need to find a location for our video. And that's going to be, in my case, video footage, and I'm gonna go to the folder that we were just at. So select the folder and click OK. Now what I'm gonna want you to see from this is when I look at that folder now we have the Smartest Goals. We already have this Adobe Premiere Pro project right here inside of here. So that's really good. You want all this stuff to live in the same folder. It's really important. So now the next thing is we look at all four of these boxes and you're like, what is going on? And it's more than likely going to default to the editing tab right here at the top. This is normally what you're going to see when you open up Premiere. And I'll show you here, this right here where this is selected, this is where we put our media, in our case, our clip. So I'm going to just drag and drop. Now this isn't moving it, it's really just providing a reference point for that. So now if I double click on this, then it brings it up in this window. So in this window, this is where we decide where we're going to start and where we're going to end our video. Now in my case, I was able to shoot this in one take. So that was pretty simple. And with knowing that, where I didn't start over a lot of times my little trick is to look at where the sound is. So if I click on this little the little wave pattern right here, you can see where that is. And then I can just click wherever I would like, or I can use this little bar to figure that out. And then this is where we're setting the in, and then we're setting the out. And the in is where we're going to start the clip, and out is where we're going to end it. So I'm going to set the in there for right now, and then I can also use my cursor to make these, closer together. So I might even want to move this and change the in to there. But we're going to listen for just a second here. Hey, okay, I guess I did have a little restart there. So if I had to clear my voice, then we know that was ending right there, and we're gonna reset that in right here. So hey everybody, if you're like me, it means that you're 20. Okay, so there we go. So we know that's where it started, and now let's find out where it's going to end. And we're just going to move towards the end here, and probably right about here is where our whole clip ends. So I'm gonna do that right there. Now at any time I can drag this clip, this is what's called the timeline, and we could drag this in here and it's going to copy the settings of the footage that we have. I'm shooting this with a DSLR camera, so I know that this is 1920 by 1080, that it's 30 frames per second. I really want to try to keep this as simple as possible. That's my point, is I just want to keep this tutorial incredibly simple. Now if we're making videos for YouTube, of course we could go through here and we could listen in and double check. And I should just mute this. I don't know how to mute that, but what we might want to do at the end of this, if we're doing this for YouTube, is we might want to add an end screen. So I'm going to go over here to graphics, and graphics has a lot of just kind of free stuff. You can even go to, here's the My Templates, or I could browse, and I could browse like the Adobe stock, and I might type in something like end screen and see what pops up here for end screen. And it has different ones here, so I'm gonna show here, we're going to do something, I don't really like that. Oh, it's got 5 layouts. Well, we can even go with like which ones are free. All right, well, oh yeah, here's one I used here recently, and I can just drop this in actually. And if I double click this, it'll bring me the whole timeline. I can drop this in here, just like that. And I can go with this. So clearly we'd want to edit this, and in order to edit this, we just double click, and then we can go to each of these sections. But you know, I'm actually going to just keep this even simpler. Let's use something incredibly simple at the end of this, and that is going to be, for instance, I'm a big fan of Peter McKinnon, so if you haven't checked out his channel, feel free, because Peter McKinnon is just an amazing videographer, photographer, YouTuber, all of those things. So, but I'm gonna go here, and that one says Peter McKinnon, for instance, so I'm just gonna say Kate Dillon. This video is for my Kate Dillon channel, and then I'll go ahead and put in my website address, so katedillon.com, and then I could even add music if I wanted to. So let's go ahead and see how this works here. We're gonna push play.
The video.
So that's pretty cool. All right, so I might want that to happen. I'm probably gonna want to suggest a couple of other videos. So instead, I'm gonna move this around if I can. Yes, here's the position right here. I'm just hovering over the top, and X is gonna move it to side by side. Y is gonna move it up and down. So I'm just holding down my mouse and doing that. So let's see what happens now when we go to that.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh gosh, really simple, straightforward, and however long that happened to take. So this was again, very, very simple edit. And what we're going to do now is we're going to export this. So we want to export it as a MP4 file for YouTube. And I'm going to click on File, then Export, and then Media. Now, don't be scared by this crazy screen right here, but what we're going to do is we're going to click on where it says Output Name. This is where we get to choose where this is going to go. Well, and for whatever reason, it chose the right folder, which is really great. And then I'm going to type in smartest, whoops, caps lock, smartest goals. I'm actually going to call it the same thing, but I want it to be an MP4 file, which it is right there. I'm gonna click on save, but we're not quite done yet. We've named the file, we've said where it's going to go, and then for these settings, H.264 is the format that you wanna use for YouTube, and it works for all of the other platforms. A lot of times match source, high bit rate. I'll be honest, I'm not super versed in what all of these mean, but some of these are pretty straightforward. Like you can see Facebook right here, there's Vimeo, there's YouTube, and I know for instance that this is 1080p, 1080 pixels, 1080 pixels up and down. So we could do it for this right here. And then now I'm gonna push on export, and then this can take some time. Now sometimes, you know, right here, this video, I didn't see how long it was. Oh, it's like 3 minutes long. So it's not a really long video. Something that's really much, much longer will take more time, obviously, and I've seen videos take 30 to 45 minutes to export sometimes. And once this is exported, and in fact, we can probably look in the folder now. Yes, we see this one here. So there's the Adobe Premiere Pro file, and here's the MP4 file. And this is the one that we'll be posting to YouTube, to Facebook, to any of the platforms, and that will be done soon. So there you go, just trying to make things as simple as possible. Lots of other things we could do here. We could add music, we could add B-roll, we can add text and graphics, which I will go back and do in this particular video that I'm editing. But I hope this is really helpful to help you just not be scared and be overwhelmed by how complicated it looks at first. You can do this in a simple manner, and I hope this helps. Whatever other questions you have, go ahead and drop them in the comments. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.